Hi everyone, this is Heidi, and this week we are talking about seeds. And this is something that we often think more about in the spring when we're getting ready to plant our garden or the new sprouts are growing. But this time of year is actually a really good time to investigate all the different seeds because a lot of the plants are dying back, or the blooms are done, and the fruiting is done, and what's left behind are all the different types of seeds. So, um, I'm standing next to this. You might recognize this type of seed, right? I grew up calling these helicopters. Some people call them whirligigs, or maybe you've got a different name for them. But this is a type of maple tree. It's a small bush. And this one maple has, as you can see, thousands of seeds on it right now. And nature has figured out this way to disperse these seeds, because if you imagine if all these seeds fell right here to the ground and tried to grow, they wouldn't grow very well, right? Where there's probably not enough light anymore here for them to thrive, because the mother plant is kind of taking up a lot of the light. It's probably also using up a lot of the nutrients in the soil. So all of these seeds would probably do a lot better if they had a chance to get a little bit further away from their mother. And it's kind of a funny thing to think about. Space is good, right? so so nature has created, there are actually 7 different ways that seeds disperse themselves all over the planet. And so this is one of the ways, right? If you look close, the actual seed is the dark brown part, but there's this lighter brown part, that's the sail that the seed has developed, so that when the wind comes, it can carry that seed a little bit further away. So wind dispersion is one of the ways, 1 out of 7. So I'm going to share with you all of them right now so that you can do a little bit of investigating in your own backyard and see if you can find some of these different types of seeds, okay? So wind dispersed. Let's see, there's another one called shooters, where like beans or peas, if you don't pick them when they're ripe on the vine and you let them kind of get overripe and dry, the sun will dry out the pod, and the pod will crack open and the seeds will kind of shoot out. Not very far, right? But just far enough so that they have a little bit better of a chance of surviving. What else is there? There's water dispersion. So these have a sail that will travel on the wind, but there are other seeds that are they're surrounded by something that will float. So if they land in the water, like if you think of giant coconuts that fall from the tree, they've got those big husks around them, bigger than my head, right? And if they fall, they're often growing near the ocean, and they might land in the water, and the ocean waves can carry them somewhere else, maybe to a whole different island. So let's see, so that's 3 different ways. There's also, what else is there? There's also, well, the yummiest of them all are the fruits of the earth. So some seeds have developed over time to have this really luscious, yummy fruit around them. So the animals, including us humans, if we come along and we see this yummy fruit, we'll pick it and we'll eat it, but we don't often eat the seed on the inside because it doesn't taste very good. So we toss it aside. And usually we're a little bit further away from the mother tree, so that seed has a better chance. Or birds, right? Birds are often used for this. They'll eat the berries and then they'll fly off, and they'll drop in their droppings. They'll have all the seeds will come out. So let's see. Well, there's also the, let's see, you might recognize these here. I found these on my little wander today. There's also the hitchhikers of the world. So these are the burrs from a burdock plant. And they have, I don't know if you can see it very well, they have these spikes on them that have little hooks on the end of each one. So maybe you've run into them when you're out traveling, where it gets stuck. Some of these get stuck to your sweater or your shirt or something, or maybe you've got a dog. Ow, one's sticking to my finger. Maybe you've got a dog that it's stuck to when it was out in the woods. So those are the hitchhikers. There's also just travelers in general, where like if you're walking around in muddy boots and the mud picks up the different seeds and you travel around there. I heard a story about a student once who took the mud from the bottom of a bird's foot and was able to grow 80 different types of plants. That's amazing. That is amazing. Nature is crazy. So there's one more type of seed dispersal. And this is kind of, this is often thought of as like a really sad thing when a big forest fire comes through and will just ravage a forest. But there are certain types of seeds that are only released during a fire, from the heat of that fire, to be exact. So lodgepole pine trees are an example of this, where the pine cone is really tight and it's sort of capped with this wax or resin or sap, and the heat from the forest fire will melt that wax, and the cone will open and all the seeds will flutter out. And those seeds, something amazing about these is that those seeds in particular they thrive best in soil that has been amended with ash. So it's kind of evolved to be this amazing thing that happens after a forest fire. So those are the 7 different types of seed dispersal. And your challenge this week is to go outside and see if you can find at least 3 different seeds, different types of seeds, okay? So I look forward to hearing what you find out. All right, have fun.